Today I am talking about the necessity to get a flu vaccine. As a future pharmacist and a pharmacy technician, it is very important to encourage people to get the flu shot while it is still your choice. It is very important to spread the awareness on why it is beneficial and how it does help. Flu shots protect not only yourself but the others around you, such as the elderly and small children, or if you're working with the public, it's going to protect those other members of the public as well. You cannot make money if you are out sick from work, so it's also protecting that aspect of your life as well, because you are going to work and able to make your money. The flu shot season typically starts at the end of the summer, so the end of August into the end of November into the beginning of December. Getting your flu shot towards the end of the season will protect you through the early spring, which is about March time. So the later you get that flu shot, the more beneficial it's going to be. We have seen the flu shot be beneficial because there are more and more people getting vaccinated, and the flu shot has gone from a bivalent to, not a bivalent, sorry, a quadvalent to a trivalent. So it used to be 4 strains, now we are down to 3 strains that the pharmacists, doctors, and scientists who are doing research are noticing that we need to cover ourselves from. So we've moved on from 4 variants down to 3. Hopefully we can get to that bivalent point. You really did not need to pause that. So you just want to make sure that you are protecting yourself from the flu. Also, the test to test yourself now is relatively unpleasant, as it's usually done nasally, and they will swab your nose. And it is usually a test combined with COVID, RSV, and then the flu. So you do get tested for multiple things at once, because they really want to make sure that they are limiting that pain from the test, as it can be relatively painful when they are inserting the Q-tip up your nose. Another benefit to protecting yourself from the flu just limits those gross side effects of headache, body aches, fever and chills, and all that comes with the flu. Nobody really wants to have the flu, so it's important to make sure that we are vaccinating ourselves. The vaccine itself is offered in multiple forms. We have a high-dose flu shot for those who are 65 and older. We have a regular dose for those who are 2 to 64. And it's also offered as an intranasal dosing as well, so you can get it up the nose instead of intramuscularly, which is usually injected into the back of your arm. So there are different ways that you can go about protecting yourself and really maximizing those benefits to yourself as well as others. There are other vaccines out there that you can use to protect yourself from. We also have RSV, shingles, chickenpox, so there are a whole slew, and we have really seen those diseases get eliminated or at least greatly reduced through people continuing to get vaccinated. It is still completely up to a person on whether or not they want to be vaccinated, which is a great freedom that we do have here in America, but it is also greatly encouraged because we've seen through science how vaccinating yourself can reduce the risk to yourself and others. And the flu shot moving from a quadvalent to a trivalent is a perfect example of how these vaccines are impacting the lifespans of the viruses and how many different variants and strands there are. We've also seen different strands of even COVID that have gone around, so getting those vaccines and making sure that yourself and others are protected is really eliminating the multiple strains and variants that do end up surfacing and coming about. And it also helps because it makes the medications that we use to treat the viruses or the illnesses to be anti-resistant, which means that we can still treat them and they're not resistant to medications, because that is the only option out there. So they become resistant and they continue to evolve into something different. So it's very important to make sure that we are protecting everybody by doing our part, whether it's getting a vaccine or just overall protecting yourself with personal protective equipment such as masking, or social distancing, things like that. Oh yeah, and I was here with Grandma, and I FaceTimed.